Greetings, adventurers. Come on in, take a seat, and welcome to the Red Hare Inn. I am your Innkeeper and Dungeon Master, Logan Hanley, here to spin you and the adventurers that you see before you through a yarn through the lands of Ecriom. Before we get started, a few shoutouts, a few pieces of sponsor information, and then obviously introductions from my wonderful party members. Everybody's in the right spot, right? Yeah. Okay, good, perfect. I had a little heart attack for that. But yeah, shoutouts. Brianna Flame for yet again creating and providing amazing overlays for us here at the Red Hare Inn. If you need any of that kind of work or photography or any sort of design work, check out Brianna Flame. She's awesome. Next, Esoteric, the wonderful cartographer who did the map that's behind me here at the Red Hare Inn. They do amazing cartography work. If you're looking to get your own world maps done, I would suggest reaching out to him. Next, Del Borovic, the wonderful creator of the art that you see down below me, as well as the creator of the logo for the Red Hare Inn. Del is an amazing artist. Check her out. She's great. Awesome to work with. And also did some of the little emojis like Edens and now Hales, which I think I still have to put on Twitch here. And last but not least, a combination of Adrian von Ziegler and the bard Perrin Hope Singer. The two are absolutely musical geniuses who created some of the ambiance music, some of the intro music, and things that we do. Obviously, we have the lovely Perrin who sings almost constantly on the stream here. So yeah, music stuff, them too. Next, sponsor information. Dragon Rock RPG design, Daniel Lieberman, Renee Beauregard, bringing you that unique and creative content to the TTRPG community. Whether it's writing their own stuffs or working with creatives like myself, their goal is to bring all of their expertise and bring all their expertise to whatever they create. Next, Adventures in 3D. Oh no, before we get to Adventures in 3D, Umbral Oculus Dice, purveyor of hand-poured artisanal dice, Taryn Hackett, the conjurer of Umbral Oculus Dice, bringing relics from beyond the veil for players like you and DMs like me to enjoy at their table. Use the code Red Hare Inn, all caps, for 10% off any of your purchases. Next, we got Adventures in 3D. Looking for a new PC or a ferocious monster or your party's next favorite NPC? My good friend Richard Quiner is the artificer of finely printed 3D miniatures. Use code Barefoot, all caps, 15 for 15% off your order there. And then last but not least, our friends over at the Initiative Order. TO, as they're known as, is a collective of passionate TTRPG players and creators that want to help the community thrive and grow. The main goal of TO is to explore and experience all types of gaming systems while creating an inclusive community for all players and viewers. And since we're talking about TO, I can actually announce it. I will be running a Conan miniseries over on TO starting mid-June, going a little bit into July, which will be a lot of fun. So check out there. We're still looking for players, so if you're interested, obviously head over to TO and sign up. But yeah, now, without any more hesitation, this spectacular cast of the Ecriom Expeditions, the yet-to-be-named Barefoot Bandits themselves. Take it away. Eden.
What's a bandit? Taryn Hackett, also known as Velrook across the socials, generally creative human, TTRPG performer, and eldritch entity. I do those things, and I'm a dice maker, again, under the moniker of Umbral Oculus Dice. I'm not doing a whole lot right now. I'm starting to work on some dice pours, so keep your eye on those, because I've got some shiny babies that are going to be really good when they hit my shop. I do have a project coming up over at TO, but not quite ready to announce it yet, but it's super sick. And also some other projects and things that I will be popping up on stream for. So, follow me on the socials.
Do it. She's amazing. My name is Renee Beauregard. I am one half of Dragon Rock RPG Design. You can find us at Dragon Rock RPG on Facebook and Twitter, and Dragon Rock RPG Design on Instagram. We make 5e supplements for Dungeons and Dragons. So if you want to let your players play new things that aren't official content but are very, very well balanced, come check out our stuff over on DM's Guild. You can find us just by searching our name, Dragon Rock RPG Design, and all of our materials will come up. We have Rangers, we have Warlocks, we have Barbarians, and we also have our Icons of Horror document where you can allow your players to play iconic horror movie villains. All of our documentation is pay what you want, so you can pay whatever it is that you want for it and or get it for free. We love that free stuff, don't we? We only ask that you leave us a rating and review to let us know what you like so we can make more things that you are looking to enjoy for your D&D content. I think Daniel and I are currently noodling on the idea of releasing either druids and or monks next. We're not exactly sure which one will come first, but it's in the mix. And we're also putting together a really fun new mythical melee over on the initiative order. The plan is to do Super Smash Brothers. So we're going to have a whole tournament where we're going to have Super Smash Brothers D&D, and we'll figure that out very soon. So keep your eyes and ears open to the Initiative Order and Dragon Rock RPG for more details on that. And I will pass it off to my lovely sister here.
Thank you. Hi guys, I'm Brianna, but I'm known on social media as Utahime. I am a cosplayer, occasional streamer when I get a chance on my own channel, which has been a while, so bear with me, folks. And also, too, I am a TTRPG enthusiast and performer. I'm constantly up to lots of shenanigans throughout the week, like this week. On Friday, we have our Jasper's Game Day. I'm super excited. We're going to be playing with Ron, who's our DM. We have Alicia Marie and Cynthia Marie. I've been adopted as another Marie, even though my middle name is not Marie, but we're going to pretend. But it's going to be lots of fun. I think Stiletto Assassin is one of the awesome people that will be at the table, along with some other amazing folks who actually donated for the amazing cause that is Jasper's. And that's going to be 12:30 p.m. Pacific time on D&D Beyond. Super exciting. And also, too, in the evening, you can see me over on the Initiative Order at 6 p.m. Pacific time for the continuation of the Alien TTRPG. Cynthia, Marie, and myself will be joining the rest of the amazing cast, and we're going to be still telling that no turning back story that Danny has been killing. It's been really, really fun playing that. And then Saturday, I'm super excited because we are going to be over on Creators Assemble playing Coyote and Crow at 1 p.m. Pacific time, and I am so excited. I've been waiting to play that. I am part native, so for me, this is a huge deal to see that representation in the tabletop community. So please, all of those donations are going towards all of the different awesome programs that Creators Assemble do for the community. So again, awesome causes, and I'd love to see you guys there. And passing it along to our discount bard.
Hi everyone, I'm Eddie, your humble discount bard, your entertainer, storyteller, and jack of all trades, and the one bard not participating in this program. You can find me as a purveyor of shenanigans on twitch.tv/discountbard. Otherwise, I bounce around other networks like this one, performing as lovely characters like our lovely Gabo Artificer Art today, or who knows who I'll be in another realm, in another world. We'll get there eventually. And yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. You can follow me on all the various social medias at Discount Bard to see what sorts of shenanigans and trouble I'm up to. And I'll go ahead and casually pass it along to our lovely, last but not least, Corvus.
Oh, hey, what can I say? It's Jay Casual. You can find me on all social media at Just Too Casual. I do things, I make stuff, I entertain you. You're welcome. This is what you deserve in life because I'm all you ever need. I'm just making up for the lack of ego on one side, so my ego has to double up. You can also find me doing all kinds of stuff all over the place. I just came back from being sick, but this Saturday, as Utahime has mentioned, the game day on Creators Assemble will also be having a Deep Breath game day special. Deep Breath, the anime-inspired TTRPG, where modern technology is powered by ancient magic, and it's everything you love about anime in a 5e compatible experience. And the party will be adventuring in an adventure that's inspired by Naruto's Chunin exam, the entrance exam of My Hero Academia, and all things we love about tournaments of power, because what's shonen without showing that you're stronger than someone else for the fate of the universe? That'll be at 9 p.m. Pacific on Creators Assemble, and there's a lot of other things I'm doing, so you can check out Deep Breath at deepbreathrpg.com, or you could just go to animednd.com, because now that links it to Deep Breath. So you're welcome, congratulations, and yeah, you're happy to be here.
And happy we shall be, I think. Well, my friends, it's finally time. Come on in, take a seat, grab a pint, and let's adventure together on tonight's session of the Ecriom Expeditions.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
Pops when I finally pulled it out.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Also, if you want to put the word barefoot, all lowercase, BAREFOOT, in chat, you'll have a chance to win this beautiful, hang on, yeah, look at it. It's not, oh, no, there we go. It's beautiful. You can win this D20. Yes.
That's a really pretty one.
Not bareback.
Yep.
That is correct.
You're welcome.
Because it's about the foot, not the back.
Yeah.
I love you guys.
It's my Second Amendment right to be barefoot and bareback.
I'm so glad I did it today. That's going right back down because I'm not. Nope. You almost got
Not
me.
to be trusted.
Nope.
Not to be trusted.
Can't be as a government teacher. I can't confirm or deny that that's yeah, well within your rights. There you go, Jay. Well, I'm not going to say welcome back because we've already welcomed you back in our own weird and fucked up way. But last we left off, the party found themselves in the familiar dingy tavern known as Les Imités. There they sought out Umber, the mimic patron and leader of the Scar Harriers, intending to tell Umber their findings. They went there intending to tell Umber of their findings. What they didn't know, though, was that Umber had a plan as well. He wanted to use what they had learned and the antidote that they had made as leverage to make a deal with Aura and the Ooblets that have been infesting Swagat. The party steps away for a moment to discuss their course of action, and when they return, agree to handing over the information, handing over the ingredients to make this antidote, or handing over the knowledge of the ingredients to the antidote, not the actual ingredients, and are asked to sit counsel to the negotiations. Aura arrives with Perrin's Gunkel in tow. A conversation then took place where an agreement for safe bonds to be made between the Ublix parasite and a consenting host. Breaking this agreement would cause Umber to use the antidote against the Ublix. Both Aura and Umber kind of pulled back and forth, but in the end agreed and thought it best to have a neutral third party to keep watch over the two groups, so one didn't get more powerful or abuse the knowledge that they had. To this, our Professor Hale acknowledged and agreed to stay back, not only to do research of their own, but to rebuild the Malthier Collective School that was outside of Swega. Because of this, the two dub him the Arbiter of Swega. A somber realization fell over the party moments after this final compact, and as they celebrated their friend, and after a night of drinking and merrymaking, Hale finally says their "until we meet again," and returns back to his collective home. As for the rest of you all, you find yourselves in the streets of Swega, the gray clouds finally breaking to the warmth of the sun that's now hitting your face. A new day is upon you. The fear of stopping a spreading Ublix plague no longer on your shoulders, but on Umber's. And the day is yours. What would you like to do?
Just as a point of order, we never got a long rest over this whole course of time, right?
You got a long rest.
You
Rested last night when you were like hanging out and saying
Yeah,
the
we
final farewells
we
with Hale.
partied. We had a good time.
And we leveled up.
No.
Mhm. Right. Anyway.
Well, I just want to make sure that I wasn't still exhausted.
No, you're no longer exhausted.
I mean, with this party, we're all exhausted.
I'm really exhausted. But, that's my own burden.
So this is the next day?
This is the next morning. Hale kind of said his goodbyes, and then you all kind of not really wanting to be around Umber, unless you guys had business with Umber that you wanted to finish. I don't think you guys did.
No.
Are just kind of starting to make your way through the streets of Swega. Kind of haphazardly toward town center, but not really in any particular direction.
Corvus would kind of need to interact with a few people nearby.
Okay.
Since the assumption is that since Hale is going to be connected to the Malthier Collective, my contract would be completed and confirmed by him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys kind of settled that, and he said that he would take care of it for you.
I just wanted to put out some like momentary feelers if anyone's heard of a specific name.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and roll a charisma check for me.
Just raw charisma?
Raw charisma.
Damn, that's a -1. 17.
17. Not that you know of. The people that kind of look at you, they recognize the dog tags that I'm sure you present to them. But they don't actively, they're not like, oh yeah, I know exactly who this guy is. They're kind of like, oh yeah, these dog tags belong to, and kind of go through a little bit of the history of them that you kind of already knew.
Got it. So no one seems to know anything in specificity yet.
No. Yeah, they can kind of direct you northward. Most of the like groups of soldiers and things like that down at least near Swega, if there are any organized militaries, are less are less organized military, so they wouldn't have dog tags, and more of just like mercenary bands. Yeah, militia and militia bands. So like anything organized would be past north past Shymore.
But they definitely know that this is from an organization or an organized military dog tag.
Yeah, they can clearly identify it as like, this is, they can't tell you exactly what military group, but this is a military group. This would have worked under somebody and been organized military, and not just like a ragtag group of people.
Okay. That's all mostly Corvus is just trying to get some more information with some sway from this Malthier contract.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
How close are we to like kind of like the ocean or somewhere close to water where if Finara wanted to kind of recenter herself, she would be able to?
The docks are maybe about 10-minute walk away, a little bit less, like give or take 10 minutes. If you wanted cleaner water where they just weren't dumping stuff, there is a small beach like off the docks where like the water coming out of the swamps doesn't necessarily go. Kind of the current takes it away.
Feel like around 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, about 10 minutes away.
Perrin, I feel like I need to take some time, for myself. There's a lot of stuff that has been going on, and trying to get my head straight a little bit.
Right.
I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think I'm gonna go and go over. I heard there's a beach not too far from here.
Okay.
So I won't be far in case you're looking for me.
Oh, so you want to go on your own? You don't want me to come with you?
I mean, I didn't want to bother you because I know that sometimes you like having your own space. So.
Well, I mean, I wanted to offer you the same courtesy where you offer me space, so I wanted to make sure I offered you space in kind. So just to make sure that that if you need a moment just to be not bothered by me, you can have that.
It's not like that at all. Actually, something's been itching at me a little bit, and I'm wondering whether or not I have the strongest connection to Avandra. I only seen her in my dreams, and I keep seeing her, kind of like, I mean, not her face or anything, but I'm having these visions, but it's weird because I don't hear anything. Like, I don't know if I'm going the right path or doing the right things. So I'm thinking maybe I need to just take some time near water and like I usually do back home and,
right.
and center,
Okay, you're right.
So it's not you, it's more me. I'm trying to figure out why I'm having this, just, I don't know, this connection.
Right. DM.
Yes.
Hello, God. It's me, Perrin.
Hello, my child. How may I be of assistance?
I want to. What I want to do, and this is more, I'm asking you how I go about this, but I'm really going to effectively ask our tall Fey goddess what she's doing. But I want to be able to suss out how her body language indicates to me what she's thinking or going through currently.
Eden, you mean? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Give me an insight check. Eden, go ahead and set a DC in your head.
$14.
14. High or low? Or did that?
Little low?
Yeah.
Only because, like, Eden would, like, for the most part, just kind of appears to be kind of, like, daydreaming and looking around. Like, it just seems like there's a kind of a lot going through her brain, but she just kind of seems, like, daydreamy. Not rage-filled. That's an obvious one. But...
Good. Okay. So he, like, Perrin just kind of like looks over at Eden, seeing that she's kind of listlessly looking off, which is not uncommon. But it turns back to Finara and just says, "Well, if you'd like, I could accompany you if that's what you'd like. I have no problem spending a nice little while with you, so as we used to back home. Just you go out and swim in the water. I sit by the beach and play a tune, and if you want."
That'll be nice. If you
Okay.
don't mind.
No, I don't mind at all. Absolutely. Let's take a walk. So, what you're saying? You're having a difficult time with something.
Well, maybe it's just my misunderstanding, but I always feel like if you're connected to some kind of higher being, you should hear things from them, or it should be clearer than it has been for me. So I'm wondering if I'm doing something wrong, or not putting forth enough effort to try to speak with her, or it's all new to me, and you know that over the years I've been blessed with these different abilities to really help people, and I really want to do it effectively and figure out what my real purpose is, and I just don't know. I keep seeing her, but there's nothing. She's not saying anything. It's not clear, but maybe it's just me not understanding and me having to really look within. I'm rambling on. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, here's the thing. You're searching for a purpose within a sort of something that's bigger than us, right? So it's hard, really, and it's not your fault. So here's the thing. You're learning different languages all the time, right?
I'm getting much better at Infernal, by the way.
Which is frightening, I have to say. It is. Listening to you try to speak that language just makes my stomach turn. It's only because of it is a scary language to hear, but you're doing very well.
I think it sounds kind of romantic. Is that weird?
No, I mean, if that's what you're into, I guess. But ultimately, where I'm going with this is when people write stories in languages that you don't understand, you have to interpret and kind of translate things, and certain words don't mean certain things across other languages, so you have to kind of find an equivalent to it. So maybe the fact that you're seeing her but she's not saying anything to you is a sign that she's like, you have to kind of interpret this for yourself.
Get what you're saying, and at least I know that she must be with me in some way.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't have your powers or your abilities if she wouldn't. So ultimately,
Right.
she's there because you can see it. So I think that this identity crisis that you're feeling right now is something that it's just going to take some time to really find the truth, to find the answer. So I think really what you need to do, and he takes her hand and just looks her in the eye and says, you just need to be kind to yourself. Give yourself the time to learn and know things, because nothing's going to be right there exactly when you want it to be. You have to find it.
Because you always seem to know what to do and what to say, and you have that quick wit about you, and I on the other hand, I put my foot in my mouth constantly, and I'm still trying to figure out different things here and there, and obviously I made maybe some hiccups during our journey so far, but I mean overall I think I did pretty well, but still learning.
Listen, I am good here. You are good here. And he touches her on the chest right over her heart. And that's what's important.
Thank you, Perrin. Well, let's go to the beach.
Now go get in the water. I've got to figure out these bloody songs. He just starts strumming away.
And then yeah, she's going closer to like the sandy area, and then she's heading directly into the water. As Perrin, I think, is probably just chilling on the sand. As she does go deeper and she kind of dives under, she's gonna let her body kind of sink further into the water, kind of where it's most still and just kind of quiet. And she's kind of looking around, at the sea life and just kind of the water below. But she will close her eyes. And as she does that, she does kind of hold on to the bracelet that her father gave her, the aquamarine bracelet that was a gift. Just kind of like, almost like as if to kind of connect to back home and that kind of peace and something that's familiar in this stranger place.
Go ahead and roll a religion check for me.
Okay. Oh, that's 18.
As you're sitting there, the water kind of, the waves kind of coming over you, but you're able, like, even just kind of sitting in a meditative pose underwater, you're able to control yourself enough that when the water is coming in toward the shore and then pulling back, you kind of just sway with it and let it calm you, and you feel that, you feel the sand underneath your feet, and kind of like as you put your hands down in between your fingers, looking around, you can see bits of seaweed and sea moss and stuff like that. Smaller fish kind of going around. It's not super tropical. It's not what you're used to back in the Oasis. It's a little bit more, the water's not even as clear, but you feel at peace. The waves coming in and out give you a very good feel that where you are, who you're with, what's going on in the world around you is where you need to be. You're not feeling a pull back to the ocean. You're not feeling a huge surge going toward land. It's that nice calm in between. Yeah.
I think in that kind of moment of just calmness, she would kind of like within her head kind of, because obviously she's underwater, so she's not going to be saying a prayer out loud unless she just has it like that. But she will probably say, Avandra, I'm not quite sure if I'm connecting with you enough, or even on the path necessarily that you would want me to be on. I have a feeling I am, because the people that we're with, I feel like we were meant to find them. And they us. But I still have lots of questions, and I still don't know everything. But maybe I'm not meant to know everything. But I just want to thank you and for giving me these different abilities that I may not always understand, and I'm still learning how to control everything. But I wouldn't mind connecting with you more here and there. Well, I guess that's all. Talk to you soon.
I'd imagine that as you're kind of saying that, you close your eyes and really kind of just reflect and try to visualize. And as you open your eyes, you see in front of you the smaller bluefin type of fish, just directly right in front of you, just sitting there, kind of dead center, staring at the gem that you're holding.
And Fanar is going to do something that is her typical little self. She's going to try to bop the fish on its nose.
Make an animal handling check.
Okay.
On you, it's a swarm of piranhas.
Roll initiative.
Oh no.
This is what
14?
14?
Yeah.
You're like, you take a minute to try to figure out like where the snoot
The
you're
little
gonna boop
snoot,
is
the
gonna
snoot
be,
of it.
and you touch it ever so lightly, and as it does, it sits there for a moment, and then it pulls back and starts swimming toward the like a cluster of seaweed. As it gets closer to the seaweed, you're in that weird place of like it's just at the edge of your vision, or in the waves are shifting, but you think that as it's starting to make its way through an archway where the seaweed starts to appear.
Oh, it reminds me of back then. Couldn't be the same, could it? I think that Fanar is going to just kind of swim over kind of near that area just to kind of like see if she sees it again.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a investigation check.
And that is very low. That's a 6.
That's a 6. As you get closer, the shape starts to mix and move as the waves are just starting to kind of jostle it. You know what you saw when the fish initially swam through it, but in this moment of like overly seeking it out, I guess maybe would be the best way, right? Obviously, like coming out of your meditation and trying to push your way toward the archway, it just kind of turns back into normal.
So she's kind of like, just ruminating in her head a little bit, thinking about the connection between the one archway that she saw before when they went into the one town and then what she just saw. And then she's going to like start swimming back to the shore.
Okay. As you start swimming back to the shore, Eden, Corvus, Art, Fenara and Perrin left you to go seek out the water. In the meantime, what are the three of you doing?
Art initially was walking in the direction of Perrin and Fenara, but seeing that they walked off to do their own thing, kind of stops in his tracks and, in kind of an uncharacteristic sense, has enough social graces to realize that they're doing their own thing and just sort of backs off for a moment and just sort of ponders to himself for a moment before getting a spark of an idea in his head, finding a quiet little corner to sit down and start digging into his bag.
As you do, Dulcar kind of pops out and like makes their way around you.
Hello there, friend. You keeping on okay? Yep. Here. And pull out a little piece of pocket bacon and feed it to him.
He grabs it and just kind of sits back and between its two paws just starts nibbling at it. Seems pretty happy, seems pretty content.
And with that settled and taken care of, Art's going to go into his sack and pull out that insect carapace that he's been holding on to for an extended period of time, and is going to pull out his mortar and pestle from his alchemy supplies and begin working on breaking off pieces of it to start grinding into a fine powder.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an alchemist tools check. This would be alchemy.
Nat 20.
Yeah, you do that effortlessly. You don't you get a nice solid amount through that, and enough to like fill a decent sized jar, like a decent sized mason jar with. Yeah.
Cool. Next step of the process, Art's gonna dig through and pull out one of his glass jars of acid, and is going to try to grab a pipette and see if he can try to pull out a small amount of the acid from the vial to try to mix with the powder.
Go ahead and give me another one of those.
Less good. Proficiency and what now?
Intelligence and proficiency.
That will be 11.
11. You pull out a little bit more than you anticipated, not in a bad way, but in a way it's just a little bit more, it dissolves a little bit more than it should, I would say.
I knew I hadn't gotten that formula quite right yet. I am... Okay. Maybe I'm not in the right headspace for this project right now.
What's the ultimate goal of this concoction?
Essentially, Art is attempting to utilize the acid to extract a molecule from the compound.
Explain it to me like I was 5.
Art is trying to create phosphorus.
Oh. Yeah, no, not yet.
Yeah.
Logan understands that now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Even though I don't think a 5-year-old would understand what phosphorus is. Yeah, no, I think you're there. It's just more of the precision than anything.
Yeah. Art is a little disheartened at the results of this, but is just, tries not to get too frustrated at the results of the experiment and just kind of half-heartedly just sort of puts it away and just starts absent-mindedly petting Tolkar.
And then a fuzzy little white ferret will jump up on Art's shoulder.
Ah! Hi there.
Are you okay, Art? You looked a little frustrated.
Yeah. I had an idea for something, but I guess my head's just not in the right space today.
Well, you were really tired yesterday, so maybe
yeah,
you just
but
need more rest.
It was for good cause. No, I am No, it's just I've just had a lot on my mind since yesterday.
Art, something's been bothering me.
Hmm?
See, the other day when we were leaving the place, you said something that kind of stuck with me. You said that you didn't know where your parents were?
Oh, well,
I pay very close attention.
it's it's less I don't know where they are. It's more I don't know what. I was talking about my birth parents. I haven't really seen them in quite some time.
Me either. But what's the difference? What do you mean, birth parents?
Well, my dads who raised me, they took me in, but they weren't. They didn't birth me. You know. Well, it's kind of a long story.
Well, I mean, we have time, but I mean, I get it. I don't know where mine are. I think I might know.
Where do you think they are?
With Glenn.
Eddie the player is trying to recall. Does that sound familiar to me?
I just realized I was muted.
Thank you.
I just realized I was muted. Make a history check. You've been Thinkland Tug is a little bit secluded, but you've read a lot, so there's a balance there.
How's a 25 do you?
Yeah, that works.
You might know history.
You know that Waif Glen is right to the west of a place called the Sunken Forest. It's a smaller civilization of mainly elves.
Why do you think they're there?
Because Wisteria told me. But I
When
don't
was
know
thi-
if I want to see them.
Yeah. I can sort of understand that. Is there a reason?
And Eden will begin fidgeting with the ring on her finger. Well, Wisteria said that they weren't allowed to look for me. But, and then her eyes will start to ink over black. If you care about something, then stuff like that shouldn't stop you from looking for something you love instead of leaving it alone for 200 years.
Well, it could be more complicated than that. There might be something keeping them from you.
Maybe.
And, at least you have a hope that maybe your parents actually still care about you and want to see you.
I don't remember them.
Yeah, that may or may not be a good thing.
Do you want to find yours?
Yeah. Even if I did, I'm not sure that they'd want to find me.
Why not? You're really smart and you make little explosive duckies and you have a cute little skunk.
No. Those are all
And
qualities
you
that
smell
they
like burnt hair.
I don't. It kind of comes with the territory. Unfortunately, those are qualities that they didn't particularly care for.
Do you want me to get their fingers? That's a
No,
joke.
no, it's my fault, really.
Why?
Well, I did something bad, and it was just sort of the icing on the cake, I guess, and it made them. Well, they told me to never come back.
Well, then they're dumb.
Well, I guess,
We can prove them wrong. Because you saved like a whole bunch of people.
well, it's in the past. My dads are the ones who really. They're my parents now.
Well, at the very least, I'm really happy you're with us. And if your dad's is what brought you to us, then whatever us is.
Well, this is our family.
I like that. Is Corvus like brooding around town? Like I just picture like we're all sitting here and occasionally we look over and Corvus is brooding onto the next place to get information.
He paces from one dark alley to the next. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I go to each dark alley and speak to the shady guy behind each of the convenience stores.
Did I hear correctly? Did Corvus's mom make them their boots?
That's why I got real upset about the little red hats taking them. Which joke's on him, because now there are two of us that have fae things that go poof. And technically, you are part fae because goblins are related to the fae, and we have fae goblin peoples, and technically, Finata, because she's part elfin, is also descended from fae. And wait, so is Corvus. He doesn't trust himself.
That's right. I was supposed to talk to. I guess we never really quite got around to that. Those drinks were really really good. Might have gotten us into a little bit of trouble though.
It's okay. They're fun. I was never really allowed to drink them or have fun, but they are fun whenever you sneak them.
Have you never tried one of them before?
I only got the little sip once. And then Hemlock caught me. And then it was bad.
DM question.
Yeah.
Did
Answer.
we turn level 4 before or after the incident with the
I think it was after.
was it
I
after?
believe it was after, yeah.
Shucks, okay. I had a thought, but I'm not sure if I would have had my
Do it.
Feach
Have
by
a thought.
then.
Have a thought.
Oh, I'm just trying to see if my mind would have been keen enough for me to have remembered the taste of what we had so that potentially I could try and see if I could recreate it.
So normally, under normal circumstances, the keen mind feat would work exactly like that. However, you were pretty drunk. So I'm going to make you roll a d20, just a straight d20 for me. Nothing added, nothing gained.
Don't forget you got the roll or something.
Oh, that's right. I have inspiration. Let's
You also have
this
inspiration,
is worth
like
it. This
that.
is worth it.
You're welcome.
Was that a 1?
I rolled a 4 on the first roll, and the second roll was a natural 1.
No!
I'm going to say, in this moment, you're trying your best. It's right on the edge of your memory. I think you recall some sort of melon. At least to the start. I'm going to make you work for this.
Okay. Well, no, I don't. Everything was kind of fuzzy back then. I think there was a lot going on. I think at one point I went swimming. I somehow Hale wound up with my pants. I'm not quite sure what that was up
I
with
think
that.
you
But
hugged me naked.
oh, well, I'm sorry. That's okay. Well,
It's okay. I
so-
didn't think about it.
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna have to think on that because maybe
I think you hugged Hale naked.
Oh. Oh, well, I apparently got myself into a bit more trouble than I initially thought. Well, but if I can remember that recipe, I'll have to put some thought into it, but maybe if I recreate it, maybe we might have a chance that maybe you can try it.
That would be fun, because it was bad last time.
What was bad?
The consequences.
Of
When I tried it before, it was bad. We don't
you
take Hemlock's things very good, or bad things happen.
so you have tried it.
Like, I had a little sip I started to, and then she caught me, and then she made me drink this other stuff. And it gave me really bad nightmares.
Well, then it sounds like it was the other stuff that maybe gave you.
Oh, I just mean, like, I just, for a long time, I didn't want to try it again because it worked. You know? The punishment, you know? Also, if at any point Eden sees Corvus within range, she will druidcraft a vine that will, like, come up and attempt to trip Corvus. Like,
Oh.
purposely in view of Art, like, so that Art has a full show too.
That's a 16 on my dexterity saving throw.
What's your spell save? Yeah.
It's on my other page. I got new stuff here, y'all. Dang it. 14.
As Corvus will like be walking, see the vine as it almost trips, will glare over. I don't have time for that.
Since
And will
this is
continue.
like a busy street, like there's like a human that walks like past Corvus and just beefs it, and like
I would like to try to catch the person before they fall.
Make a dexterity. Make a dexterity check.
Kids are already laughing at him.
Yeah, kids are giggling in the from the alleyway. Damn kids.
It's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, you managed to catch right before he falls. It's been raining on and off the past couple of days. So it is the first nice warm or starting to get warmer day. So even though it's sunny out, the mud is still starting to it's just starting to harden. And so you save them from a what would have ended up being a pretty muddy fall.
Before I let you go, just inquiring, do you know if there are any clergymen who might be around I can speak to?
Yeah, of what is there a particular denomination or house of worship you're seeking, or just any clergy?
I believe any clergy. I'm looking for those of faith, and speaking of scales, I am just looking for those that might know what meaning behind these words there might be.
I know by the port there's a small shrine to Cord, the Stormlord. I don't know if you'll quite catch someone to worship there, but that would be the best place. And then let me see. There used to be a shrine to Melora, or small house or garden to Melora outside the gates when you're heading toward the swamps. Again, I don't know if anybody was there. There isn't actually a house of worship, so to speak, but I know that those are at least a couple points I can think of off the top of my head.
I appreciate it. I am simply hoping to find someone well versed in the multitude of faiths that grace lands.
Well, yeah, those would be the best two to go to. I can walk you over there if you want, show you where it's at.
If you believe a clergyman would be there, that would be appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, again, like I said, I'm not 100% sure clergymen, but there might be somebody who worships Cord over by the docks that might be able to speak with you a little bit more fluently about it than I can.
That will be sufficient. Thank you.
The human, kind of dusts himself off real quick, stands up, adjusts himself, right this way, and heads toward the docks. It's about that time you're kind of passing Finara and Perrin as they're coming back from the dock, or coming back from the beach.
While walking by, Corvus gonna, Finara, I need your aid. Come, please.
All right. I'll be back, Perrin. And she's gonna kind of rush over because she's not sure why Corvus is like I need you now. So she's a little confused, but at the same time intrigued. So she's gonna rush up behind with her little legs.
And while we're walking, while the person's guiding, we'll be a little behind. You are a person of faith, yes?
I am. At least I'm pretty sure I am.
What
Yes.
faith is it that you follow?
I serve Avandra, the Changebringer.
How versed are you in other forms of faith and patrons, pantheons, and other?
Well, I read a lot of books. It depends on what you're looking for information. I can try to see if maybe I have some of that in my notes, or maybe even one of the books I carry along with me.
And then Corvus will kind of under his scarf take the dog tags. They speak of an individual, faithful of the platinum scale. These tags are military, but I have yet to acquire information of any of those that know who this might be. I was wondering if this phrase might mean something religious that you might be more keen to know.
Finara's gonna kind of reach out for the dog tags.
And Corvus, kind of hesitantly hands him over.
And she like carefully, because she sees that there's like that kind of hesitation. I promise I won't drop them or anything. It's just I want to get a closer look. What do I see again on that's written?
So what you'll see written on the tag, it says for Tiresias Blackvine, faithful of the platinum scale, and some other symbols that seem to be etched in. It seems to be a combination of like almost Sylvan and also something draconic in nature.
I'm gonna ask DM if I can roll to see if maybe perchance I might have a little bit of revelation about this from a certain higher being.
I'm gonna make 2 rolls. So the first is gonna be a religion roll.
Okay. All right, and that's a 17.
A 17. So you know, faithful of the platinum scale. Platinum scale can be pretty directly associated with the god Bahamut, also known as the Platinum Dragon. Platinum scale may either be a religious order, or it could be just another name for it. They just kind of shortened Platinum Dragon to Platinum Scale. And then go ahead and give me a history roll.
Okay. Net 20.
Natural 20 on the...
Yeah,
Jesus,
so that's 21 for total.
Yeah, 21 history. Looking at it, you've grown up in the Oasis. The Oasis has, for what it's worth, the Xantherum have they don't have a control over the Oasis, but they have, you've seen them and you understand how military rank works at least a little. Looking at it, it looks like whoever this individual is was some sort of vassal knight of sorts. The name, the family name, and the first name don't ring any bell to you, but you can tell it's some sort of vassal knight and higher rank, so they would have commanded troops.
Okay, and the higher, and it basically it's the connection to Bahamut.
Yeah. So okay. It's somebody who, if you're putting all those pieces together, somebody who either is a direct servant of Bahamut, and that's kind of just like a religious phrase that they put on it, or is a vassal knight directly under the Platinum Scale, which could potentially be some sort of religious organization belonging to Bahamut. You're not from Cantor, so that part you're not really sure about. You haven't done a whole lot of studying on Cantori history, but you're at least able to bridge that gap in some way.
Okay. If I'm remembering what I was looking up before when I was researching different things, it seems like whoever this was, who these tags belonged to, was some kind of high ranking, like a vassal knight or something. I don't recognize the last name of said individual, but it seems like they're connected to Bahamut. Like they serve or at least worship maybe. And they might have been a part of the Platinum Scale. I don't know much about it, but I think it might be like a religious order of some sort that serves Bahamut. That's really all I know. I'm so sorry.
So the scales were not meant in forms of mercantile like I've been advised.
I don't think so. I think it's again some type of group, like an order of some sort.
Interesting.
Oh, here you go. I know these must be special.
I'm gonna give you another little piece. The scales also are a sign or symbol for Arathis, who's known as the Lawbearer.
Oh, wait. The scales are for Arathis. He's oh, I forgot. Damn, remind me what you just said.
the law bearer.
Law
So
bearer.
Yes.
Yes.
Law bearer. So he's very much the deity who would be in charge of upholding laws and community and like the nature of civilization.
Yeah, he's a law bearer deity.
So the relation could be Bahamut, Erithus
Mm-hmm.
of sorts.
Yes.
If I find more texts related to these religious teachings, would you mind doing research with me? I must understand.
I love research. I actually am thinking I might need some history books on the area, and really trying to look into that so then I can be of more use in situations like this.
I appreciate your time. I needed clarity, and I've been searching for a clergyman, and I assumed that you had at least some religious inkling of the area.
I mean, I may not be as well versed in certain matters like a clergyman, but I'm trying to get better at that, and that's kind of why I needed to kind of just recenter myself to try to get a little bit more connected to my deity, Evandra. But as my brother mentioned before to me, it takes time. I'm trying to be more patient with myself, but I feel like I should know more or feel that connection a little bit quicker. But neither here nor there. But can I ask a question about the tags?
You are permitted to ask what you seek.
So is this somebody special to you whose tags those belong to? That
To
you've
be
been
honest,
searching for answers for?
I don't know who this person is, or at least who they truly are. These were the tags my birth mother gave me, saying they were of my father.
Oh.
However, the inscriptions have been seemingly altered and incomplete, so any search on the name or the terms, they are vague in nature. This is essentially my only possible inkling to my birth father and whatever family that means.
So that's really, really important. Yeah, I definitely don't mind helping, especially if you're trying to find him. I mean, everybody has a right to try to like search for anybody in their family that they're trying to look for.
I just believe it's less about the connection and more about understanding why my curse has plagued me. My mothers speak keenly on me, but I feel my soul being torn, and I can only assume that I can find closure in my father, whether he be dead or not, and know what that means.
I can understand that. It's very important. Anyone would deserve that level of closure. I appreciate you sharing something so personal. I know you're usually pretty private about those things, so thank you for trusting me. And if you need me to keep it a secret, I'll keep that to myself as well.
I did not request you to keep anything secret. You may discuss as you wish.
All right, well, I mean, it's not my story to tell anyway, but I just, wanted to let you know that obviously it means a lot that you came to me for something so important. And I think that if we try to go into town, maybe we can find a bookstore or a library of some sort to try to look for some more information. I know I need a book on Sylvan because I want to learn more because I'm pretty sure Eden speaks that too. And maybe it seems like there might be some draconic symbols here, so that might be useful too.
I see. Well then, perhaps I do not need to see this water temple shrine and If you have ideas on ways to more accurately present my research, then I will follow your guide on this one.
Really? You made it?
Simply to gather more information to find what truths I need.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, this is just kind of exciting because nobody really comes to me for these types of things. So now I get to kind of show what I do best, or at least I think I do it best. I don't know. Anyway, let's go into town. And then she's gonna grab, like, link arms with Corvus, and then try to, like, rush off, even though he's, like, probably way stronger.
And
But
Corvus is like
excitedly.
being half tugged, like, and follows through, and we'll like literally look back to the guy and just slink a gold coin towards him. Your task is complete.
Thanks. It just turns. He keeps going the way that he was going.
To the bookstore, I guess.
Or, like, there's a bookstore or library or something where I could get some books.
Yep.
Sir.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'll give you with advantage. Make either make a charisma check for me.
Oh, charisma check, you say?
Yeah. I think your persuasion is the one you're pretty good with.
Yeah. Well, I mean, wisdom is my strongest, but that was that's an 18.
An 18. So you guys kind of go from, like, not alleyway to alley, but like street to street, shuffling through, and you find that there isn't a bookstore per se, but there's this place called Words on the Street. It's a small little, like, pickup shop.
Okay.
On a cart. I didn't even say the magic word, and you're lighting up, dude. Check yourself. It's a pickup shop, and Jeff Bezos, man, get control of your stuff. But it's this little, like, cart style on the go bookstore or bookshop that has, you know, some, like, a little bit of magazines and, like, editorial, some scrolls, and then on the main portion of the cart that functions more of like a desk or a table, there are just piles of books.
Okay. Can I, like, Fenar's gonna kind of look, because she kind of knows in her head what she's trying to look for. I'm trying to look for specifically Sylvan, Draconic language, and also to History of Cantor, and also to any books that might be pertaining to the order or the religion that basically, like, with Bahamut and that information as well.
Yeah,
I know it's a lot.
So as the two of you approach, there are a couple of people kind of like moseying around, but as you get closer, this dwarf kind of pops up on a stool from behind the table, and he's, "Hi, how can I assist you? This is my little shop here."
Sorry, I was just sifting through things. That's so rude of me. Hello, I'm Fenar Villar.
That's literally
Nice to
why
meet
it's on the street, so that way you can like look through it instead of going. Feel like bookshops are so formal. You go in there, you have to pull a book off the shelf. These are just sitting here, so like they can get knocked. Anyway, hi, I'm Garden. Pleasure to
Nice
meet
to
you.
meet you. And this is my friend Corvus.
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
He extends his hand out to shake.
Corvus just eyes it for a moment, but then, like, half-heartedly accepts the shake.
Nice to meet you. So, like you said, you're looking for books. Garden,
Lots of
Jermaine.
them.
Anything in particular?
Let's see. Do you have books on particular languages?
He starts like shuffling through. I have this dwarvish dictionary, but that's mostly because I hand it to other people for when I say things in dwarvish.
And then she's gonna just blurt out, "I already know dwarvish. No need to worry about that." But it's like in dwarvish, like basically, that was a piece of cake. I went through that in like a week.
Oh, okay. And he puts it back. Other languages, and I'm gonna make him roll to see if he can actually find anything in his own shop.
Yeah, that seems about right.
No.
I got a natural one, guys. I'm sorry. It's a die I'm giving. It's a die I'm giving away. You use the word barefoot, all one word, to get this die that I just rolled the natural one on. I'm getting all.
It'll
the
roll
magic.
less natural ones because
Yeah.
one has been rolled already.
Exactly.
It was because she started speaking in Dwarvish like it was nothing.
It flustered him. Like his mind is. He's like, oh,
I
yeah.
learned that in a
She
way.
knows Dwarvish. That's nobody knows Dwarvish down here. And he goes, here. How about this one? Sylvan.
Oh, perfect. That's one of the ones I was looking for.
Oh.
Now, how about Draconic? You got anything on that?
No. My folk don't typically.
No, that's all
typically
right. That's all
associate
right.
with dragons nowadays.
Okay, so hey, this might be easier. So she's gonna take out her notebook and she's gonna try to write the other lists of what she needs, like dealing with Bahamut, dealing with the order and the history of Cantor, and then she's like gonna hand it over. This might be easier, so you can kind of look through things.
Oh, okay.
And she writes it in kind of Dwarvish, basically, so that way if it's like even easier for him to understand it. Just
If he wasn't like, holy shit, when you started speaking Dwarvish, now he's like, you can, right away.
Writing took me a little bit longer. For some reason, conversation was much easier.
The runes are, it's harder to grasp the meaning sometimes because sometimes you mix different runes, to different sounds, but. I'll get right to work. And he hops down and starts like shuffling from like pile of book to pile of book, and like every once in a while you'll see he'll take one and put it at the top of like from the middle and put it at the top of the stack, move around. He grabs a scroll and puts it on, and he comes back to you. He goes, all right, so this first one is a tome on mostly I don't have anything on it about speaking Draconic. However, I do have one on the Dragonborn Empire to the southwest. So you can have that. It speaks a little bit more about their history, all the way up to the end of the era, or beginning of this era. And then he moves and he goes, this scroll will, it talks a little bit more about Bahamut and the different religious organizations associated to Bahamut. I don't, and he kind of pulls it open and does like a quick like skim through. Nothing about a platinum scale, but it could maybe lead you in the right direction.
Oh wow, this is amazing. How much do you need for all of these things?
You're one of the first that has ever started speaking dwarf to me, or dwarvish.
Really?
So, other than dwarves, it's not a language most people pick up. No, so, this one's on the
it just
house.
feels like home sometimes. But then I am per halfling, so that makes sense, I guess.
Yes, but you can have these for on the house. Think of it like a family gift.
Well, I can't do that because you've been so kind to me. So she's gonna pull out a gold piece and give it to him.
Oh, and he just immediately just pockets it. It's just like no look, no nothing. And thank you kindly.
Listen, my grandma always said you gotta pay it forward, especially when someone's showing kindness. So I really appreciate this a lot. And this is gonna be so helpful. Thank you so much. And then she's like trying to like tuck everything because she's still small compared to Corvus. So she's trying to like put the scroll in her bag, it's sticking out, and then she's like trying to shove all the different books and things.
Corvus just kind of like grabs some of them and just puts them in his satchel. And also, I believe, do you have a book on anything involving Erethus?
And he does a quick little search. Okay, that was an improvement. He goes,
Yeah, 2 is an improvement.
He goes, I have this. It's a small pamphlet somebody left a while ago. Probably isn't what you're looking for, but you can have it on the house.
Of course, takes it, literally skims through, and then puts it back down.
Yeah, you get a brief like this is like a so you wanna believe in Arathis type of pamphlet. So it has the basic information. Talks about how Arathis is this god who essentially is claiming civilization as one of their domains, right? So any city, any town, basically they are claiming lordship over in terms of creating peace and stability through order. Very, very lawful, very, very good. Not necessarily good, but more of the you break the law, you get punished type of god. And making sure that the wilds around areas of civilizations need to be tamed. So they're not friends to nature. He's not friends to gods like the Wild Mother. But yeah, he believes in things like intervention, in things like aiding those who absolutely need help, and for doing things in a very lawful nature.
Yeah, and Corvus will just slide that into his
I'll give you a whole
purse.
info dump later, but that's the gist of it.
Corvus will add it to his notebook and help carry the rest of the books. I believe that is sufficient for the time being.
Okay. Well, if I can't do anything else for you, feel free to stop on by if you need anything. I'll be here if you need it.
Thank you a lot. It's a pleasure meeting. Wait, your name was one more time?
My name was Garadin.
Garadin. All right. Fanar. All right. And Corvus. Thank you again. Hopefully see you around.
Bye now. And he kind of hops down, and you can see a moment later there's a little ploof of kind of smoke as you imagine he's lighting up some sort of pipe. Perrin, Eden. I'm sorry. Were you going to say something, Corvus?
No. Just had to do a brooding grunt,
Oh. Yeah, you need one of those.
The necessary grunt.
I had to make the noise to make sure everybody knew that I am brooding.
That I'm brooding?
Yes.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
immediately go back to brooding. Perrin, after Fanara gets pulled away by Corvus, you kind of head back into town, moseying, making your way through. Make a perception check for me.
Making you wait.
I have guidance thanks to Slumberjane. Hooyah! 19.
19. As you're walking down the main thoroughfare, you catch out of the corner of your eye a shape about your size kind of cut into an alleyway.
I throw my loot over my back and I up to dash into the alleyway.
As you dart into the alleyway, for a moment, the alleyway's almost empty, but then you notice behind a barrel, you can kind of see a little bit of like an ooze, not ooze, but like an oozy leg start to curl around as if it wasn't quite fast enough to get around before you got to the alleyway.
Why are you hiding from me?
Well, I wasn't quite hiding. More, I'm leaving. As
Okay,
your
well,
uncle steps out from.
And I point to the docks. The boats are that way, you bloody idiot.
I know. So my brother, your dad. I don't have a lot of information to go off of.
Okay. I'm sorry. Are you hoping that I have more information for you?
If I were to start, where would I start? That's all I need.
You go home. You'd go to the Isles of Lilithol, and you would spend however long it takes to figure out where the hell he wound up, because that's where we're from.
And clarification, we went off to serve, or we went off to fight? Why'd we leave?
Um, it's foggy, but ultimately, you and Da left to take on the Zentarum uh, as resistance. You were part of the resistance.
Okay. All right.
They were trying to conquer everything, take ownership of the entire continent, and Dad needed to be part of the thing that made them stop that.
Okay. That's all very helpful. Well, okay, I guess I'll be off. I know we're not technically family, nor ever will be, but I appreciate you and your friends for giving me this opportunity.
I mean, I.
Okay, you didn't really give it to me. I more or less forced you to give it to me. However, thank you for the
Yeah,
opportunity to not be
right.
what I have been.
Well, I mean, I couldn't give two shits about you if I wanted to, because I don't really know you at all. Yeah, so you invaded my personal being, and then in order to ensure that you didn't take over my entire body, I did what was necessary to cause you to leave. So I I don't know what you're expecting, or if there's anything at all you're expecting. But if you're going out in the world to go and find answers, just be careful, because what you might find may not provide you with the solution or reaction that you're hoping for. Okay?
I think I understand. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, right. Just, I mean, on like right on the level. Just prepare to be utterly disappointed. Like, just absolutely. Because here's the thing: he left me and my mother to go on some godforsaken, quest to better himself or protect the world. And what he should have done is be with his family and maybe move us away from that. He had some sense of glory that he had to accomplish for some reason. So I don't know what kind of person you're going to find. But from my experience, people who make those decisions aren't really the best of people. So just prepare to be completely disregarded and, left second to his own ego. I do not know the man.
He walks and takes a couple steps toward you. And it looks almost like he's going for a hug, but he just takes his hand and puts it very gently on your shoulder. And just nods. Looks you dead in the eyes, just nods. Doesn't say anything. And starts to walk back down the alley toward the main street. Yeah, art.
I know this would potentially require a minute amount of retcon. I didn't quite get a way to interject this. Did this happen close by? And if so, would I be able to attempt to have stealthily eavesdropped on this conversation?
I rolled the 51, so yeah, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Eden definitely would have followed Art.
Both of y'all give me a stealth check then. No, Corvus, you also can't stealth in.
I don't need to stealth. There is a floating phoenix of darkness that lingers around my friends.
What's your passive?
Banara has her nose in a book, like Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
Yep. Oh, yes, that's my sister to a T.
Karen, what's your passive perception?
Yes.
2, I think. No, 3.
Passive perception of 13.
13.
Well, unfortunately, that was a 12 for
15.
me.
I rolled a 15 though,
Okay.
but you probably tripped Eden and we fell.
Yeah, as you guys are kind of like making your way over there, you trip and fall, Art, and you hit like a small, like the oh my gosh, what's it called? The gutter of the one building that's above you, and it like the bottom portion that's not super fixed just kind of clatters and falls. Closer toward the end of the conversation, Perrin was pretty quick to get in there, and so you didn't catch very many words. But you guys did kind of fall into the alleyway enough to see that kind of final interaction of the hand on the shoulder and walking away. And the Gunkel kind of looks both toward you. Thank you both. And he points to you, Eden, and says, "Yeah, I'm gonna go do a thing, like you told me to."
But you should never. Don't let yourself be put in a box.
I'm part ooze. That's like virtually impossible nowadays.
I get it, but don't be free. People take it for granted.
I'll try my best. And he kind of, I have some things I need to do first. And he kind of just very casually kind of looks back toward Perrin. And,
Oh, hi, Perrin.
yeah.
And she's right, you know. You have an opportunity here. A really great one that not a lot of people have. You get to start fresh with no prejudice set against you. You've already got a better leg up than I do. Make it mean something, maybe.
I can do that, yeah.
Yeah, right? Because all we have is the legacy we leave behind. Really. Because you can't take your gold with you when you die.
I should have probably brought a notebook for all of this. This is pretty heavy.
If you can't remember 2 sentences, you're going to have a lot harder time than that.
Good point.
I take out, you know what? I take out, where's my inventory? I take out 10 gold pieces and I hand it to him. Buy yourself a book. Buy yourself something to protect yourself with. Keep your wits about you.
Book, protection, wits. Got it.
You're gonna need like a fountain pen, a quill, and an inkpot for the book, or else it's fucking useless. But ultimately, like, you know, and he just kind of looks at him and goes, I need you to like leave right now before my goodwill has run dry.
Yeah, got it. Turns toward Eden and Art. Okay, bye guys. And just starts walking down the street toward where the docks are.
Perrin? As like Eden's kind of like scritching Graham on her shoulders. You're really nice. You have feelings.
I can't begin to tell you how accurate of a statement that is. Like, that is... While I might be very sharp with the words that I say, depending on who I'm talking to, there are a lot of emotions that I have here. And he like gestures to like all of them.
I just took all of them away and feel nothing.
Sorry, I don't believe that. Anyway, yes, Art.
Did you mean what you said? Do you actually think that someone that just came from nothing can start fresh?
Well, I mean, ultimately, he's got no history. Relatively speaking, I mean, if he goes back home, then people will know his face and kind of has that history to deal with when he gets there. But
Aaron, I don't think he means to us.
yeah, no. But realistically, when you start without any history, when you start without people knowing anything about you, unless they have a reason, you can really make something of yourself as long as you try.
Do you think that they can actually become someone?
I mean, he's already become someone because I allowed him to become someone. But he can, in fact, make a name for himself if he wanted to. Again, it's an aspirational thing. You have to desire to make the change. You know, here, and he like pulls him into towards a shop where there's like a big window, and he like stands in front of the window with Art. And now I know it's still glass, so effectively it means the same thing. And here, look here, and he turns Art towards the glass where we could see ourselves. And I just look here at yourself. Look at yourself, right? And just see who you are. And now I want you to think about what you want to be. What do you want to accomplish? And these are the moments that I have for myself. I normally do this in like a mirror where it's like easier to see myself and not like what's behind the glass. But, you know, I talk to myself and I tell myself what I want, who I want to be. Because you have to start with the man in the mirror. You have to ask him to make a change. And no message could be any clearer. You have to take a look at yourself and make a change.
Make a change.
That man, right there. And he like leans in and puts his arm around Art. Today, you know,
Thank you. Oh, one more question.
Sure, I guess.
Do you feel that you're responsible for the creation of this life?
Oh, that's a big one. All right. Am I responsible for him or for me? Like my life? These are big differences.
Well, the life that came from you.
You're responsible for your own decisions, right?
Okay, I'm still not clear 100%. Are we talking about the fact that the ooze came out of me, created an entirely new person?
Talking about the
I need to be clear. Do you mean him, or do you mean
No.
what happens? I want to hear it from him. Do you mean him, or do you mean like what I create?
Well, hypothetically speaking,
Right.
yes, if you created something sentient, do you feel that you're responsible for it?
And he turns back to Eden. Right, so you do mean the thing that came out from me. Okay, so responsible is an interesting situation. In this instance, I don't necessarily feel responsible for what it does and how it behaves, because it has its own mind. It makes its own choices, and it's not me who has influenced that in any way. For example, like technically speaking, this is a conversation of like nature versus nurture. He was born of a memory that I have or had of a person, so he's going to behave exactly how he's. So, I'm sorry, I should pick that up. He picks up the loot, puts it back on. So I can't hear the god in my ears.
Give yourself a point of inspiration for that. Oh,
Thank you.
Yes.
So, but my mother, my mother would feel responsible for me because she raised me. You know, she molded and formed the man that I am today, and changed how I view the world. Right. So my ability to be very hospitable, you know, to allow people to feel comfortable around me, that comes from her and our people. But you know,
Are you responsible for something that you give life to?
yes and no. Kind of, not really.
I think it depends, Art.
It's a matter of perspective. I cannot be held responsible for that, because this is a fully formed creature that came from a memory that I held of someone that I knew when I was a young lad. There's not a lot that I can do to change what's going to happen here, because I didn't have anything other than what I just said to him to change his whole person.
It depends on if it can take care of itself.
Which he can. Like, ultimately, he's a fully grown man in a really weird way. But ultimately, I did not change or nurture or make different who he is because
He
of.
spit his ooze out onto the ground and it came to life.
Whereas someone like my mother took her time with me and guided me into the person I am. She's responsible for part of that. The rest of it is who I choose to be, which is my responsibility.
And like mid-conversation while this is happening, Eden will stop and then end up just staring at her reflection in the mirror, like in the glass and just zones out. Because she hasn't really looked at her reflection much at all.
So here's the question that's not being asked, young man. Why is this important?
Oh, I don't know. Just passing thoughts, I guess.
I respect the distance you're attempting to create with me here in this conversation. However, that's not enough. And I'm gonna be honest, you don't just ask these kind of existential questions out of nowhere. So are you all right, or is really what I'm asking here?
Well, it's complicated, but your answers are helping.
I'm glad something that I do has any kind of merit of aid in any way, but then he puts his hand on Art's shoulder and kind of like gets close. I want you to know that, like, if you want to tell me more, I'm willing to sit down with you and just listen. I know I talk a lot, and sometimes I don't stop. But the part of a storyteller is to listen as much as it is to speak. So how am I going to tell your legend without you telling me how it came to be? And he kind of like puts his arm around Art's neck.
Well, you've given me a lot to think about, and well, I don't know if I'm ready to fully explain just yet. I'm not sure I fully understand just yet, but maybe when I've had some time to think about it.
I understand. Everyone has their moments, their time. We all take different paces to get where we need to be vulnerable enough to talk about the difficult things in our life. Now, I wear a lot of things on my sleeve, and it's...
No, you don't.
I'm very open with how emotional I am.
That's not true either.
Point is, I'm willing and open to listen to whenever you want to talk about it.
That's not true either, because whenever Corvus is trying to say things, you shut him down. It's funny, but you're not open.
This is a very particular circumstance, and Corvus sometimes needs to be put in their place, and that's my opinion on that.
Well, where is Corvus right now? Is he with your sister?
Very likely. He did ask her to go with him to go and look for something. I don't know, but yeah.
Do me a favor.
Sure.
This is going to sound really strange, but I want to try something. And I promise maybe it won't hurt.
Okay.
You.
Yeah.
This is really weird, But I was looking at my reflection and I realized, I want to see if something works.
Sure.
Do you have a dagger?
Yeah, and he like pulls out a small dagger.
Do you see these things?
Your little twigs.
See, they grow out the back of my head.
Okay.
I want you to cut one off.
He like pauses a second. It grows out of you, right?
Mm-hmm. I
Uh-huh.
want to see if it grows back.
Okay. I don't know exactly how I feel about this, but
I don't
if
think I
you
can do it myself.
right, okay, you're obviously you're gonna have to kneel, because
Well,
I'm not
why?
that because I'm not as, unless you want me to climb you, I'm gonna need you to get down on my level.
She just plops down.
This is a delicate operation. Maybe we want to try someone with a steadier hand.
No, excuse me, I've got steadier hands than most. Thank you very much. And he gets around to like the back of Eden.
So, look, I've cut my hair off before and it grows back really fast. And I just woke up with these.
Mm-hmm. Do you not like them? Is that?
I don't know how I feel about them right now, and I want them off my head.
Oh, you don't know how to feel about them. Okay. Sure. They are. And this is when like Perrin starts to like go pink. They are very pretty.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're different, but they're no different than I don't know, like a minotaur or a cider, where they have like you made with Hale. You've got horns growing out of your head.
But that was because I poisoned him by accident. Don't tell him.
Right, but some people are born that way.
I gave Finn a tail at that too.
Yes, right. And that's the thing. Like some people are just born that way, and it's a natural thing.
But I don't think I always had these.
Okay, right.
Any of it.
But I just want to let you know that they look beautiful and they don't make you look weird or anything like that.
Well, if I'm right, they'll grow back.
As long as you're sure that you trust me to do this for you, I'll do it. I don't know what else to say.
I think I trust you. You guys make me think it's a bad deal now. I mean, I can heal myself really fast though.
So can I, so don't worry. Also, I can't be, if you're saying it might hurt me to...
No, I mean, it'll hurt me, not you.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, well, we'll
okay.
I
don't know how it would hurt you though. I know your sleeves are emotions, but that's not...
My sleeves are emotions. What's a new phrase? I love this. So
well, just in case, here, and Art's gonna dig into his pocket and take out a very fruity smelling stick of butter. You might want this just in case.
Okay. And so like Perrin will like run his hands across the back of Eden's head and like gently run his finger down the back of the twig to find like the root of where it like embeds in the back of her head, and just like take his index and thumb and like wrap his hand around it, and then like place his dagger just on the edge of his hand, kind of like how his mother taught him to like chop food, by like you take the edge of your knuckles and you run the knife along it. So he like runs the dagger along himself, and he says, okay, on the count of 3, I'm gonna cut it. Okay.
Like, and Eden's like holding Grim like really tight in one arm and has the butter in the other.
And like this, and then Perrin like leans in and just whispers in her ear, "Don't worry, I'm right here." One, two, and then he gently kisses the back of her head. 3, and slices like super quick.
Roll me a d4. And then Eden, give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
And like while that's happening, I just want to confirm this is happening in front of a store in
Yep.
the middle of the street.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. This,
That's what I was thinking the whole
poor
time.
little gnome.
Bandits,
This poor little
do
gnome on the
not.
inside is like, ah.
Like, what is happening?
This is the Barefoot Bandit. Situational awareness is not our thing.
Yep. Who are you banditing? Each other.
1.
A 7 because I have a +6.
A natural
Alright, so
1.
You're gonna take 1 point of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Big whoop. And as you're sitting there staring at yourself, looking at this reflection, the second that the knife goes through your eyes, almost like pitch black. A moment later, there's this kind of gray veil, and you see the 2 figures you saw earlier, instead of or in the vision previously. This time, it looks as if the more female of the 2 is down on their knees, hand kind of extending toward you. And from over the top of you, kind of a shadow looming like from behind you toward them, you can see it almost looks like 3 shapes, but they're kind of conjoined.
Can Eden participate, or is she just seeing things?
Nope, you're back like that. And in that split second, Eden kind of slumps forward for a second, like kind of into herself, not in it, like not completely to the ground. And in that moment, you see coming from the back the branch cut, and it just slowly starts growing until it comes back around to the front. Then as it does, a couple little smaller like plumes come off and start to bloom into flowers. And then
Well, I
Eden comes back too.
think we answered that. No, that's how you look, love. What happens to the branch in my hand?
Branch in your hand, the flowers almost immediately decay and die. In your
Oh,
hands. Also, hello to 225 Games, and thank you for the
hello.
Ruinous Paths. Howdy, howdy, friend. Thank you for joining the stream. This is the Ecriom Expeditions.
Most importantly, what happened to the butter? Because she did slump forward, so
Oh.
is it on her
Oh,
face?
no.
The butter, like,
It's just
squeezes in her hand, and it kind of like does that thing that butter does where it's like coming out of all the fingers, and then she slumps forward and like a little bit gets on her shirt. Yeah. Grim, she thankfully loses the grip on Grim a little, or is gripping Grim too tightly, and he kind of does that weasel thing where he just slithers out at some point, so that way he doesn't die. Yeah.
More importantly, the gnome
They prob-
shopkeeper. How traumatized is this?
I was about to say, about this time, Corvus and Finn walk up, and Perrin's holding Eden's twig in his hand,
and
and
that's-
Eden's passed out on the ground.
That's the thing. There's no blood. There's no blood or no nothing. Also, thank you, Ruinous Path, for the gifted sub to our friend the Dragon of Dragon Rock.
For what it's worth, the moment Eden would have attempted to slump down, Art would have attempted to stop the fall of this person who is bigger than he is.
Yep. So when you wake up, Art is kind of like half pressed into the mud, acting as like a shield or a pillow for your unconscious body.
There's butter on my face. And it grew back.
Well, at least we know for now.
Yeah.
You took a bit of a spill.
Are you okay?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I was
No,
fine.
I'm fine.
I had a nightmare, I think.
Okay.
She's like eating the butter. Like, so I can be back at full health.
I like lean her back up and make sure she's sitting upright. I pick Art up and I start like dusting it off with my hand, casting prestidigitation as I go.
Mm-hmm. It's about this time, yeah, that Fenora and Corvus come back to the group in the front of their shop. A gnome kind of pops out the door. I'm gonna very respectfully ask you guys to leave the front of my establishment here.
Oh yeah, we're going right now. Right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just to confirm, Corvus comes in to see Eden slumped over on top of Art covered in butter, while Parent's holding a withered branch
Yep.
of
And
what
a dagger.
And a dagger.
And a dagger.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Finn is walking, like if Corvus at any point stops because she's reading, she's like, "Oh, this is really interesting." She's gonna like literally like just ram into
Make a
Corvus's
dexterity
back.
saving throw. Oh, you're right. Oh, and never mind. Into Corvus. Never mind. I thought you were to walk into Eden.
No, like I basically because we're walking up, but like because of the fact that she was like reading some of the books, like one of the books while they were like Corvus was trying to find the rest of the group, kind of leading. Like she had her nose down at that moment where Corvus is probably like, "What is going on?"
I do not
Oh.
have any fathomable idea what.
Oh, sorry, Corvus. What is going on?
Was there a battle of sorts, or
we
Just an experiment.
yes, an emotional experiment is really what this is.
Exactly.
you have a dagger in hand, a branch that seems like it, and you're covered in butter.
Right. That's how he creates his healing salves.
Why was their healing salve necessary?
I was preparing to cut off my branch, and I cut off my branch, and then I passed out, and I woke up with butter, and I landed on Art, and I had my hair.
That is a very abridged version of exactly what happened.
You cut off her branch
Because she asked me to.
in the middle of the street.
Correct.
We didn't think about that.
Does
I
Finn
mean-
notice that Perrin is blushing at all?
She got better.
Yeah, make an insight check.
Yeah, make an insight check.
And I'm gonna be using my blessings from my brother. On
Yeah,
this
there you
one.
go.
What's
That'll
up?
grow. That's right.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, oh, I definitely need that. You said insight.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me roll this. Oh yeah, that is a dirty 20.
Yeah, it beats my 12.
I just added the D because I wanted to really.
Yeah, that's right. No, you can definitely see he's like pink in the face, holding Eden's like withered branch with the petals at his feet, and he's just kind of like, yeah, no. She just kind of asked me to do it, and I said, sure.
They really jumped at the opportunity.
Very interesting, parent. Like she's gonna like go like around Corvus's body. So if you imagine like a little
Yeah.
cartoon, just like.
And Art gave me the butter so that I could heal myself so I wouldn't die. And I think Art tried to catch me, which is why I landed on Art.
Right, and
Thank you for
I
that.
don't know why I wouldn't do anything that a friend would have asked me to do.
So if a friend asks you
Uh-huh.
to cut off a limb, you say yes.
They grow
Oh,
back, apparently.
This was a thing we were testing. She said that they might grow back, and she wanted to know if they would because she didn't know how she felt about them growing out of her head. So she,
If, just
Risks
to make
must
sure,
be taken in the name of science.
if
More
Eden said,
importantly, how did you feel about the request to remove? the
conflicted
sentence?
is the right way to say it.
it's not
Only
about
conflicted.
feelings, it's about
But
logic.
his sleeves are feelings.
You're
My-
still in
my
front
s-
of my shop.
Oh, okay, everybody, can we? Let's go.
Eden will just
Oh,
turn to the as he says that, like Eden will just turn to him. Her eyes will like ink over black with the red irises, and she'll just hiss at him and then turn and walk away.
Corvus actually, like, seeing the black eye thing happen, Corvus has an instinct to just walk over and try to grab Eden and just drag her away before she reacts to someone. Because Corvus is like, y'all have made a scene in public for way too long already.
Yes, we
Oh,
have.
sir. Okay. So I understand that you have an establishment, and my
Eden is
friends
being,
may
like,
have
dragged away.
prevented some of your business. So here is a gold piece for your inconvenience, and have a great day.
Make a persuasion check.
And also at the same time, Art's gonna in Gnomish. Oh, I'm so sorry. Here, here, take this on my behalf. I'm so sorry for everything, and is gonna just without
Persuasion
even.
is a 4.
I'm gonna shove a piece of pocket bacon in his hand.
God, we're the worst.
Go ahead and give that. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Do you want me to roll separately or give Finn advantage?
I'm gonna say I'll stack that on top of Finara. So Finara, go ahead and get advantage on that.
Okay, because that was.
Because my roll's probably gonna be worse.
Oh yay! All right. Okay. That is. Oh yes. That's 22. 22.
Wow.
He takes the gold piece in the one hand, and the other hand he has a bacon. He goes, you know, I didn't have breakfast today, and he just takes a bite and like starts to walk in just immediately. Like, but he kind of like looks over his shoulder as he's doing it to like make sure you guys are continuing to.
Yeah,
leave.
we're walking and we're talking.
Eden is still like glaring, like as she's being like backed away.
And as we're moving, Phoenix is like on the other side of Eden, like glaring at Eden while Corvus is trying to pull Eden away.
This is turning into just like the angsty staring contest. That Eden is now glaring at Phoenix, like it's just. And let me. Yeah, instinctually she cannot stop. It is just like glaring.
Phoenix doesn't do anything but brood.
So right, it was a request. It was not just I did not haphazardly do this thing. She asked me to.
No, it was haphazardly. No matter if someone makes a request to mutilate or maim them, and you abide seemingly without hesitation, concern, knowing that Eden of all peoples doesn't seem the most capable of awareness of her own potentials.
There may be a reason why he was willing to do something so haphazard, as you say. Perhaps. And then she's like, does like a weird wink thing that doesn't even really like, it looks like both eyes are blinking to like Perrin. We'll talk about this later.
I think Corvus wants to talk to me about this now.
No, I mean, we'll have a separate sibling
right.
conversation later.
Okay. I'm sorry that you feel that way. She wanted to change something. She wanted to see something, and the only way to do that would be to, like you said, mutilate her. And we have healing magic. It's capable to make that not a problem.
It was my request.
So, Dad always said that the best place to have a conversation is with food, because food reduces stress and tension. Maybe we go get food and continue this conversation?
I'd just like to make one point clear. Your dependency on the ability to use this mystical healing doesn't change the fact that the scars remain in the memory.
Okay.
Actually, speaking
of
memory scars, so, Art, remember when I told you earlier about Waveland?
Yeah?
Well, whenever I fell asleep, I think I saw them. I think I saw, like, my parents. and like one of them was like reaching out for me maybe, and there were 3 things behind me, but they were like all together, but they were like taking me.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
memory scars sounds like a right word.
DM,
Yeah.
can I deduce anything about this phenomenon?
Make an Arcana check.
As soon as I can figure out where my dice is. There it is.
Corvus is curious too. However, Arcana is not a skill Corvus knows. Oh, apparently I am wrong. That's a natural 20.
Apparently I am wrong.
Art is too flabbergasted by the stress of this situation and is not thinking straight.
So,
Hang on,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna give Corvus's thing real quick. You have experience from your personal experience. You would know that sometimes the memories of past lives could have an effect on you. At least from your standpoint, you haven't heard of such great magics that would there are magics that block out the memory of a person. But you haven't heard of any sort of magic that, like, doing something like that would bring the memories back. Typically, the memory, like, once the magic removes the memory, it's gone forever. This is an odd occurrence.
Corvus believes that's a trauma response.
he's not fully wrong. So, Perrin looks at Eden. So, are you wanting to go to wherever this wife Glenn is to maybe find your parents?
Don't know.
Okay.
I wanted to. I have a lot of questions.
Art's gonna pull out a notebook. Are there any other details that you can recall about this experience? If at all possible, could you try to be specific?
I just remember the briar.
And the individuals you saw? You said you saw figures?
There were like 3 of them. And Hale told me to look into
Hags.
hags. And
Yeah.
that maybe if there's like a big library somewhere we could research. I mean, Finn likes to read books. Like she was saying she wanted to find books and stuff.
And Corvus needs to hand over his completed task to the Malthier.
I don't know if I want to find them until I know what's going on, and I'm kind of mad at them, and I don't know if I want to see them either. But
Right.
Well, and I have research I need to do too. So it seems that somewhere where there would be a good source of research would be a good place for us to get to.
So it sounds like we're going to the Malthier. Period. That's where we're headed.
are they all shitty, like kited?
We wouldn't know.
Malthier is dependent of many
They all
factors.
have poopy attitudes like that.
There's guaranteed to be at least one other person with that exact same attitude. At least one. But we won't know until we get there.
And then Corvus will reach into his pocket, pull out one of his sending stone. Quick update. Information on hags. Books to read. Send list when ready. And then puts the sending stone back.
Why'd you talk to that rock?
Wait. What?
Finn, do you have a talking rock too?
No, I do not. I think that's just a gift that Corvus has.
I sent my mother's a message.
Sorry. That was plural?
Yes, my mother's.
Oh, okay.
Also,
Very nice.
Between the
I
3
wanna
of them, they'll figure it out.
apologize, I'm sure my brother didn't mean to mutilate anyone. I think that he was trying to assist a special someone, a friend, and maybe things could have went a little differently. We will make sure no mutilation of friends in the future. But I do
Right.
have healing abilities. I understand how you feel. I really don't think that he meant any harm, but we will respect, since you are a part of this party as well, we will respect your non-mutilation, not mutilation activities.
Right. We
don't
took
believe it
we
is-
took the long way around to say it won't happen again.
I
And
don't
then
believe it
Art
is
had
my
healing
concern.
too.
Yeah, we're all capable of healing. So
Do you still have that twig?
I'd like to make a point
Yeah.
that just because you all have this seemingly ability
it
to
back.
heal, if magic was not available, would you be able to continue that healing?
I imagine.
I would actually.
My sister has really great capabilities with like herbs and salves and things that she can make with her hands.
I
just
mean,
like to be aware.
I got by pretty well before I started learning things, and Art's gonna hold up his very bandaged arms.
Just
So
Actually,
Yeah.
speaking
Reason.
of that, so that's why I would try. I want to see, Finn or Art. Do one of y'all want this?
Here, pass it, and he reaches for it.
Because I mean, y'all could keep it, or maybe you could use it for stuff. I don't know. Here.
Yeah.
Gonna say,
I'll
Corvus?
I'll figure it out.
Here, why don't we? And Art's gonna reach into one of his pockets and pull out a jar and hold it out for the specimen.
Yeah, sure. And so Perrin puts the twig in the jar, and then as Art is like twisting the lid on the jar, Perrin puts his hands around the jar and like takes it from him. Yeah, no, I'll hold on to this, and then he
Oh,
puts it in his bag.
Okay.
But, so, Corvus, do you know somewhere we could go for all these things? I know you reached out to your moms.
Althea Collective has many detailings of all sorts of information. I have
But there are a
connections.
bunch, right? Like which one?
There should be one north of here. That's where Hale was telling us to go.
My personal connections is closer to Deepwell. I
Where's
have
that?
many connections there north of here. But heading to Deepwell would not be a decision made lightly.
Why?
Is it scary?
It's not quite as scary as much as there are not always individuals with the best interest of others.
Then we end them. No?
Well, I guess so. But pretty sure that we have quite a ways to go. How far is Deepwell from here?
That's my job. If you went the shortest route would be to take a boat from Swagat through White Harbor, through the Jeweled Isles into White Harbor, and then up the Foaming Rapids to Morin Lock, and then from there go up to the trade road there and go west to Deepwell. Arguably, hang on, I gotta do maths. About 300 miles, give or take.
300 miles.
Cantor's the largest continent. There's a lot.
Oh,
of
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's a
Yeah.
giant
Just-
mass.
But 300
Um,
miles, so
Burn.
that would be 25, 12 days?
12 days.
Maybe a little bit quicker if the wind and the tides are with you, if you got good oars, fast horses.
And out of character. So effectively, we would go from Swagat to White Harbor and then go from there.
And then you would take a barge upriver to Morin Lock. Yeah.
Okay.
That would get you to at least the Dristan area, you'd be going into Corvus. You would know this. You'd be going into the Kingdom of the High Moors, which is currently ruled by King Caddoc Morin.
And Corvus is well versed in Deepwell to Morlock. That entire area is his home.
Yeah,
he says.
Morlock shares a weird history with Deepwell. Caddoc used to be a nobleman of Deepwell, and then decided to go out and try to claim his own territory. It ended horribly, but a group of adventurers came and revived him, and or got his remains and brought them to a cleric who then resurrected him.
Ultimately, the choice is yours, but my connections in Deepwell, well, run deep.
Poetic. Like it. So I guess that's the direction we're heading. Not really a...
We start walking?
We... And he kind of looks at Corvus and then looks nervously at Fenara. We're going to have to take a boat.
Nope, I'll walk.
Oh, well, I mean, I might be able to make one if I'm given enough time. I don't know if I have the resources for it.
No, we're
here.
not. And he like grabs Art by the hair and just like ruffles it. No, you silly goose. We're going to have to charter a boat.
Darn it.
Oh,
The water wants to eat me.
that'd be
I'm not
much
getting on a
easier.
boat.
I can almost guarantee that the water itself doesn't want to eat you. I at least here, I can't speak for the Feywild, but the waters here don't necessarily move on their own.
Or
Don't
like
believe
anything
you.
you eat won't really stay in your system.
It's not.
Is that why you
not-
made the puke all over the inn?
Yeah, she's not.
Yeah.
She's
I'm-
not.
I'm-
She,
I'm
she's
having
good in the
flashbacks.
water. She's not good on the water. It's a whole thing.
I know it's confusing, but I love to be in the water, not in a vessel that's on top that moves about in very weird ways that kind of goes against currents and what. It's just bad for my constitution.
See, it'll make me sick too.
I
I've never been in the big water before. I've only been in like ponds and like a fountain twice.
Well, we're gonna ask somebody who's very good in handling a ship and captaining, so that we don't have to worry about that, because this is the really easy way to get there. And if we don't, and DM, correct me if I'm wrong, if we don't use a boat, it will take us about a month's time to get where we're looking to go.
Really?
Arguably, yeah, that's close to a good assumption, because you would have to go up through Shymore
Well,
if you
what's
took
the
only one
hurry?
roads. Yeah, you'd have to essentially do like an L.
What's the hurry? Hurry.
So now is it's a really interesting moment here, dear. So you trusted me before. I'm asking you to do it again.
I mean, I trust you to cut off my fucking finger, but I don't trust to go get on the water.
Trust me to take you across the water.
I mean, I got here in one piece. It's just that pieces came out of me of the food that I digested.
You're not helping.
Corvus, you won't lie to me. Is it bad? Is it dangerous? Is it gonna eat me?
The waters will not eat you. The waters will shake you. It will make your nerves quake, but
Last I checked, water isn't sentient.
you will not be directly harmed by anything of the water itself. We shall find safe passage. We shall journey safely. And if it makes you feel comfortable, I promise to defend you if I need to.
Can I hide inside the whole time and not look at the water?
If you so choose, you can do whatever it is that you'd like.
I don't know if Dilkar's been on water before. Maybe they could use some company, and maybe, I don't know, maybe that might help.
Sure. We'll surround you with fuzzy things to make you safe and warm.
Fine. I'll do it, but if it starts to try to kill me, I'm gonna get off of that boat so fast.
I will hope that you do.
Somehow. Okay. I also don't want to be
Possible.
walking for another month. It was really boring.
Right? You know, trust me, this is going to be exciting, at least,
I just
because
walked down from. Yeah.
Very exciting. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So not a lot of food for you then.
she just will need to make sure that she's taking her medicine if we can find it.
And I believe we have our path.
All right. Well, let's go find ourselves a boat. Let's go find you some stomach settling medicine, and then we'll head to the sea.
Yay.
And on
It's an adventure.
that exciting note, that's where we're gonna end tonight's session. Thank you all for watching. We're gonna go around the horn. Also, put in barefoot in the chat.
Barefoot.
Barefoot in chat.
BAREFOOT.
Barefoot.
Yeah.
Barefoot, not
Want to
bareback.
give away this die? Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, barefoot, not bareback. Yeah. God, I hate y'all sometimes. Bare my feet? No. Put it in the chat if you want a free. I'm gonna show it. Hang on, is this the one? Where's the-
Enter it in the chat for a chance at the free D20 made by me, and it will roll better for you because you're not Ronan or Logan.
Yeah, it
That's
looks
right.
It looks like this. It's really beautiful. It's got reds and purples and blues
It's got
and pinks
holographic
and gold,
Little flakies
little
in it.
flakes. Yeah, it's really
Mhm.
beautiful.
I based it off a sunset.
Me holding it up doesn't do it justice. Like you have to look at it
No.
like this.
Or
and then
in
you get
light.
the full, or in light. Yeah, not in my dark ass dungeon of an apartment. But yeah, go around the horn. Eden, talk things.
Taryn Hackett, also known as Valrook across the socials, generally a creative human TTRPG person. I don't know, eldritch entity feeding on the suffering of some of my favorite people through different horror TTRPGs on occasion, and dice maker under Umbral Oculus. That's the thing. I'm here every other Tuesday. I've got projects on the way, so follow me on the socials so you can see what I'm doing because it's really cool shit. I just can't say yet. Do it.
Do it. I'm Renee Beauregard. I'm one half of Dragon Rock RPG Design. You can find us at Dragon Rock RPG on Twitter and Facebook, and at Dragon Rock RPG Design on Instagram. We make all of these fantastic things for 5e on DM's Guild. You can find us there. All of our stuff is pay what you want. Just search Dragon Rock RPG Design. It's really great. And you can find me on TIO doing Mythical Melee, and we'll let you know more details about that when we have it. So keep your eyes on our social media, and we look forward to playing with you guys again next week or 2 weeks from now. Okay.
Hi guys, I'm Utahime. You can find me on social media at Utahime Cosplay. On most of my socials, except on Twitter, it's at Brianna DeCoster. Find me this Friday at Jasper's Game Day, one of our games at 12:30 p.m. Pacific Time on D&D Beyond. It's going to be really, really fun. Please support that great cause. Also at 6 p.m. Pacific Time on Initiative Order. And then mosey on over on Saturday, Creators Assemble, 1 p.m. Pacific Time for Coyote and Crow. An amazing game. Awesome system, and moving it along.
Hi everyone, I'm Eddie, the Discount Bard. You can find me on all the various social medias at Discount Bard, where I am up to various shenanigans, mostly on twitch.tv/discountbard, where I play various games, and, we try to have some fun along the way. Otherwise, you can find me on TTRPG channels like this one, playing fun characters and telling great stories. I will go ahead and pass it along to the one and only Casual Campbell.
Oh, hey, Corvus, who I play, but you can call me Jay. casual. Find me on social media at just too casual. I'm working with TIO on all kinds of things. You catch me here doing the awesome stuff. And coming this Saturday, you can see me on Creators Assemble doing a deep breath play session of an adventure inspired by My Hero Academia and Naruto's Chunin exam, as our heroes see what they can do to, well, become heroes. Casually, of course. All that stuff is on deepbreathrpg.com and animednd.com.
Yeah, and I'm Logan, your innkeeper. You can find me here. Talk to me on my Discord. Talk to me on the socials. All that other cool stuff. Eddie won the die, so I'm going to throw it in a river. But yeah,
And hope it gets to California.
And hope it gets to California. Yeah, all rivers lead to California, right? We're going to raid our good friend. Oh, wait, hang on. Who are we raiding? Hang on, who are we raiding? Do I have them? Who'd you tell me to raid?
Just dorky teacher. We're gonna go raid our friend Bo. Bo is playing a fun vampire game that's all narrative based, and we're gonna have fun and say hi and spread love and give them a pint because they deserve it. They're awesome.
Yep, we're doing it. Love you. Bye.
Bye guys.
Bye.